Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. I am your host, John Burke, and with me in the studio today, he has returned. The Great White Hope, my bearded heterosexual Jewish life partner, Josh, is here in the studio with us, operating the controls as per the norm, and things are as they should be. Glad you're back. Glad you're back.
Good to be back, buddy.
Glad you're back.
Look into those beautiful blue eyes of yours.
Oh, you snake-tongued son of a bitch.
Where's that lube?
Oh, man. If you could, you know the drill, folks. Hit that thumbs up on the Rumble channel there. It helps us get more exposure, helps boost us to the top of the most viewed category, so we appreciate that. And I'm getting a lot of questions about where the podcast can be downloaded. We're dealing with some Spotify issues. Apparently, there's 2 channels. We're fixing it, so bear with us. But again, the podcast can be downloaded on all platforms. We're just dealing with Spotify issues right now. But always, it'll be here on Rumble and always on allamericansavageshow.com. I keep getting questions about that. And it's like, look, if you've listened to the show at any given point, you know where to find this stuff. So it's really not that hard. My gosh, man, might as well talk about it. Fuck it. In the spirit of entrepreneurship, Josh, how has the last week been for us?
It's business as usual.
Emotional fucking roller coaster. Folks, should we talk about it?
Maybe vaguely.
Vaguely. We'll put it this way. A previous employee has almost cost us almost $500,000. Yeah. Luckily, we were able to recoup, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
But I will just put it this way: I have never been so disappointed in employees that thinking they knew how to run a company cost us almost $500,000.
You almost think they do it inadvertently.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I really don't know.
But the sense wasn't there.
The sense was not there. Well, the sense was there, almost $500,000 worth of sense. Yeah. So, but we figured that out, and it was a major stressor. It was a major stressor for us, folks. When I talk about how it's very stressful being an entrepreneur, it really is, because I will say more times than not, the hard parts of it are employees. It's not the business side. The business side you can figure out. It's shithead employees. Lazy fucking employees that think they know what they're talking about, yet they have no idea. Lazy employees that just don't do shit but think they're entitled to work.
Yeah.
Or entitled to pay for shit work. It is beyond me. It is just beyond me. But luckily, oh my gosh, we're blessed. Thank God.
Beyond measure.
Beyond measure. First billboard has went up. We paid for a billboard.
It's pretty exciting.
I talked to Andy Frisella, and we had a discussion about where he sees, based upon the data for his company, where he sees consumers going. And he's saying the data does not lie, that people are going back to the brick and mortars. People are tired of big tech. And I will be honest and say that we are proud that we never sunk one dime, one penny into big tech. We didn't spend anything. No ad spend for us. Not saying that we didn't try at one point, but after a while, it's like, you know what? Fuck these communist cucksuckers. So fuck them. But we did our first billboard off of 75 South here in DFW, so we appreciate that. If you see it, that's awesome. We're excited for this. Talking about opening up some brick and mortars here local to DFW, and we're going to go from there. So if you're in the area and you're looking for a job, I'll just tell you this right now. If you're a lazy motherfucker, don't even think about it. I don't give a fuck if you're a veteran. I don't give a shit. But if you're in the area and you want to help a growing business, you want to come join our team and get paid a good day's wage for a good day's work, then we're going to have opportunities here very soon-ish, and we'll announce that. But this is just a fucking warning to anybody out there with a wild hair up their ass. If you think you're woke and all this other bullshit, do not apply. You will not be. Absolutely not. That's just from having dealt with a lot of Gen Z fucking retards so far. It's just been nothing but an annoyance. But there are some good Gen Z people. We have a few here.
Yeah.
But oh my God, overwhelmingly, they're a bunch of shitheads. And millennials too. We've had, quite honestly, there's just a lot of shitheads in general. Let's just put it that way. So, but yeah. We're going to do more ad spend. Like, for example, that billboard cost us like $3,200 for 3 months. So that's $3,200 we're spending to get access to, if you really think about it, if we look at like the digital highway of influencers on social media, you're paying an influencer to post about your company, which is fine. I'm not against this. This is what influencers do. It is a billboard on the social media highway. I used to do it myself. But what I am seeing, though, is like with Shell Shock CBD, they will not allow us to do paid advertisements, even though other CBD companies do. They do allow it. They won't allow us, probably because of who we are, which is fine. Fuck them. But that being said, I could pay $3,000 a month and get a shitload of local traffic to see eyes on that billboard and hopefully come here, as well as with the the website is on there too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how it goes, and we appreciate all the love and support, man. You guys make this feasible, and we wouldn't be here without you. So, as you know, shellshockcbd.com. We appreciate all that love and support.
We sure do.
But now with the money now reallocated back to where it should be, we're going to push harder into brick and mortars. It just seems like that's the way to go. And it's actually kind of refreshing. It's kind of like a return to middle America, if you will. Like people like the idea of going into a store, physically looking and examining the products, talking to a representative behind the desk, having them explained what the products do. There's something to be said about that. And I get it. I totally get it. There's some things I'd rather just click and then order. I understand that. But from what the data is saying, people are going back to the brick and mortars. And I'm honestly here for it. Fuck big tech.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
I got to agree. Fuck them.
Fuck them. So, but anyway, appreciate you guys out there that are supporting Shell Shock. Would not be here without you. So, that being said, let's get into the news. It's too late, Josh. It's too late. Let's just go to the news. Go to the news.
All right.
I thought you could make it like a quick, hot, the quick button thingy.
I've been out.
A hot bar. That's no excuse. It's no excuse. Out of your mind. All right. Oh, my God. Trump. My gosh. He just can't stop. I'm sorry. This guy's a fucking idiot. This guy's a fucking idiot. Trump tweeted out on Truth Social about maybe an hour ago. He said, Florida, and this is Trump, Florida was doing great long before Ron DeSantis got there. People are fleeing from New York to Florida and other places because of high taxes and out-of-control crime, not because of Governor, thank you, President Trump, DeSanctimonious. Rick Scott did great, and even Charlie Crist had very good numbers. Sunshine and Ocean, very alluring. Are you fucking stupid? This is directly to Trump and all of your supporters. Are you fucking stupid? Are you kidding me? DeSantis, you know why they're pushing down to Florida? Because DeSantis is taking a fight to the woke culture. He took on Disney. You did not. He did all this. You did not. All you did was endorse him. You don't get to sit there and play king of the entire GOP by saying, oh, it's doing so good because I endorsed him. No, you gave him the chance and he took it and ran with it and made something of it. How dare you? You're a fucking idiot. DeSantis has not even made an announcement and you're already attacking him. For what reason? The woke culture pushback. Florida is a representation of what America is going through and fighting back against woke culture. DeSantis is doing a damn good job there. People are fleeing from New York to Florida and other places because of high taxes and out-of-control crime. True. Not because of Governor, thank you, President Trump, yes, 100%. 100%. Not strictly because of DeSantis, but because of what Florida is doing. Banning fucking CRT, the Don't Say Gay bill, apparently. Yeah, I think that's a damn good reason to move down to Florida because people vote with their feet. But Trump, show me where he did any of that. You didn't. DeSantis did. Now, if you would just shut the fuck up, you would be fine. And you'd have a solid bid in 2024. Now watch how all these blue check influencers come to Trump's defense and start attacking DeSantis. And folks, once these people do it, watch Turning Point. Once they do it, you know which side they're on. It's not about truth. It's not about effectiveness. It's not about battling the culture war and small government. It's about God, King, Emperor Trump and them getting close to power. Watch Benny Johnson. Watch Charlie Kirk. Watch all of them. See what they say. Just see what they say. Or maybe they won't say anything.
Maybe. You know, this.
If they were smart, they wouldn't. But I know they're going to, eventually they will be Team Trump because that's, when we get close to the king, when then God bless the king. We can't go against the king. That's why these influencers, they're worthless. They're clout chasers. It's a massive grift. They are paid. Case in point, I saw Jack Sobasek or whatever that dude's name is. So James O'Keefe comes out with more, and we're going to talk about Project Veritas here in a second. Well, Jack Sobasek says more of the story, and it's on a monetized platform. Well, no shit. So it's not really about the truth. It's about the fact that you want to generate ad revenue. Fine, fair enough. I got it. It's a business. But that's what it is, folks. This is a business. It is a political grift business. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's
ridiculous.
This nomination is really his to lose.
It's bro.
All the polls show he's up. He should
he just needs to shut the fuck up. If Trump would shut the fuck up, but he can't.
He's turning into like a grumpy old woman.
He is. This makes him look like he is very insecure. He is very weak. It's all eyes that like, oh my God, like, bro, even the GOP is getting tired of this. Even his own people, they're like, bro, I'm getting sick of this. He needs to shut the fuck. I miss, like, the 2016 Trump was all about taking it to the left, taking it to the left.
Well, he took it to the right as well.
But they asked for it first, to be fair enough. Like Ted Cruz and the rest of them, they shot at him first, he fired back. That was justified.
Right.
It's like, if you don't go toe-to-toe with Trump, you've got no enemy. But now, DeSantis, I mean, my God. And DeSantis is playing it right. He's playing it right. Don't respond. Just let it go. Don't respond. Let it go. Even if DeSantis is only planning and running in 2028, don't make an enemy of Trump in a sense of let him be his own undoing. His tongue is going to do it. His tongue is going to do it. It's ridiculous. But you go on Truth Social and you scroll down through these comments and oh my God, the level of boomers in this is just, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then you're seeing just all kinds of boomer memes and oh my God. The worship in here is just, it's nuts to me. But I will tell you this right now. All these influencers have already seen their attacks begin. They're going to paint DeSantis as a GOP establishment plant. That's what they're going to do. And the QAnon retard types are going to buy this hook, line, and sinker. They're gonna swallow this whole.
Look, guys, there's a tribunal going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen for May the 4th, okay? May the 4th. That's when he's going to be put back into the White House.
That's when the military is going to come in and we're going to arrest DeSantis and Trump is going to be the president again. And like, oh my God.
You have no idea the
He's
information
playing 20D chess, guys. Oh my gosh. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. And the thing is, man, I like Trump. He's done some good things, but bro, shut your fucking mouth.
I do too. I think he would make a great president again, but this.
I think he would, but this, like, no. And DeSantis, look, I'm just saying, DeSantis is getting shit done. He's getting things, he's making things happen.
Yeah.
And people are going to say, well, he needs to stay with Florida. No, Florida's golden. They're golden. They are a bright red right now. I would rather have DeSantis at the federal level controlling that government and reeling them back in, which I know he would do.
Yeah, if Trump was smart, he would just say, hey, Ron's a great guy. He's done great with Florida.
Exactly.
I think in the future he'd make a great president.
Why can't we have allies instead of enemies? But Trump doesn't see it that way. Trump has to attack. He has to attack. Look, I'm sorry. CRT and the rest of that crap was around under Trump and he did nothing. This transgender bullshit was around under Trump. He did nothing. Now he's campaigning on it, which is smart. But I'm sorry, man. When it comes to actions and not words, I see DeSantis doing a lot of good over in Florida. That's just the way I see that.
Yeah.
I think they're both great quality. Well, I shouldn't say quality. I think they're both forces to be reckoned with within the GOP right now. But dude, if DeSantis makes the announcement, dude, it's going to be a bloodbath. It is going to be a bloodbath. Yeah, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you just got to step back and just watch
it unfold.
Yeah. That's all. That's really all you can do.
But what annoys me though is all these Trump grifters, all these fucking influencers are just going to sit there. And it's just kind of like, why? But at the same token, though, they are going to show themselves for what they are.
I think if more people did speak out and be like, okay, that's about enough, and like all of his core does that, then maybe he would get the hint that, let me pull back, let me re-strategize. Because I don't think Trump is the type of person who would continuously do something that he thinks would harm him. Yeah. I think he thinks this helps him with his core base.
Yeah.
Well, going out there, throwing some shots. I'm not going to call him Meatball Ron or, you know what I mean?
You said it yourself, though. The older he gets, it seems like he's just less controllable at this point.
A little more cantankerous. I mean, who knows? I can't say that he hasn't always been like this because it seems like since 2016, 2015, he has been like this.
Yeah.
Where he's,
I wouldn't say to this level, it's someone like DeSantis. Like, so what is the reasoning behind Trump wanting to attack DeSantis? Because DeSantis
the same reason he went after Ben Carson.
Yeah,
is because
views him as a threat.
Viewed him as a threat.
But there's ways of going after somebody versus what Trump's doing here. It's like, bro, these are the wrong tactics to take towards DeSantis. And it's not like putting DeSantis on a pedestal, but you've got to give the guy credit. You've got to give him credit. He and his administration have done a phenomenal job in Florida.
I mean, he did.
And I remember when DeSantis first hit the scene a year or two ago and really started making news. You and I were like, hey, we're withholding judgment. We don't know. Actions, not words. DeSantis has got the actions. Trump does too, but it's like there's no need for this infighting. But it's going to happen. It's already here. Yeah, it's already here.
I don't think there's anything you can do about it. It's just like sit back, let it unfold.
And here's the deal. This is the other thing people don't seem to get. It's like they're saying that if DeSantis does run, Trump's going to run as an independent. No, he's not. Trump would never run as an independent. He wouldn't get the votes. He knows he wouldn't win.
It'd be a waste of money.
It'd be a waste of money. And the left would win. They'd conquer. Why? Because you'd split the vote on the right.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I think if enough people didn't like Biden, like people didn't like Hillary Clinton because of Bernie Sanders, you would see that vote split to a third party candidate. So
I just don't think Trump would have. I think the left would unite because let's not even make any ifs, ands, or buts about it. They viewed DeSantis as a more refined Trump Jr. That's why Soros supposedly backed him, which he didn't. I read the article. He didn't back DeSantis. But that's why, Kerry Lake and the rest of those idiots out there are sitting there saying, well, look who freaking, George Soros is backing. He's backing DeSantis. So therefore, DeSantis must be the wrong choice. Or maybe it's because Soros knows, saying that hypothetically he did back DeSantis. Folks, do you not see the reason why? He views DeSantis as a threat. Kerry Lake even said the kiss of death. Yeah. When Soros backs you, it's the kiss of death. Well, Soros isn't stupid. He knows this. Yeah. So who's he going to endorse? The one he feels is the biggest threat. This is not hard to understand. But Jesus, some of the people in my Instagram comments, y'all are some dumb motherfuckers. I feel like I'm sitting here screaming out to the people saying, wake the fuck up. Kind of like how we say, whatever Biden says, think the opposite. Whatever the government tells you, like you've said many times, think the opposite. Soros is no different. Whoever he's backing, it's because he probably views the other person or that person as a threat. And that tells you something. If Soros did feel that DeSantis was a threat, what does that say to Trump? Now I know this is very, I wouldn't say complicated, but this is politics. And people don't get it. People are just so they have their horse blinders on and they just don't see it. And it's like, look, do you think Soros really likes DeSantis or even Trump? No. The only reason he's going to say anything is to cause not distraction, just to cause animosity and more infighting because people are just that stupid. And not enough people listen to me, which they should.
They should.
They should. You should listen to me. I'm smart.
George was a real Nazi.
He was. That's why people say
he was turning Jews in.
Get your Jews here. 2 Jews for $1. He was.
Like,
you were right. He did. But that's why you take the same approach to Zelensky. How can he be a Nazi? He's a Jew. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You absolutely can. George Soros. I mean, fuck. You think there weren't fucking Jews that were working with the Third Reich? Yes, they were.
That's like Alyssa Milano trading in her Tesla for a Nazi-owned VW.
Volkswagen. Do you know who created Volkswagen, you dumb bitch?
She kind of disappeared off the internet after that one, didn't she?
Did she? I haven't seen that cunt put anything.
That was one of the dumbest
biggest
things
self-owns.
that anybody's ever done before. Even worse than her crocheted mask that she was wearing, like an imbecile.
These are liberals. These are liberals, but
yep.
Well, there's Trump's thing. Just being Trump, bro. I'm sorry. Like you're done, bro. I've lost all support for you. I'm sorry. It's just you're just too stupid for me at this point. And that's why I think DeSantis is probably a more refined, ballsy Trump. I do.
He could be.
He could be.
I don't know. I'm gonna withhold my judgment until actual primaries.
I think with Trump doing no, dude, I'm sorry. Like you just need to shut the fuck up. Because here's the thing. We still don't know if DeSantis is going to run.
Yeah.
I think he will because the only reason Trump attacks is if Trump feels threatened. He's very insecure. So he's trying to fucking pull DeSantis down because he doesn't want DeSantis to run. DeSantis should just run anyway. Can you imagine being DeSantis on the stage and then debating Trump? Oh my God. That would be a pay-per-view match. I would, because the gloves are coming off.
I don't know that DeSantis would go to that level to where he would start to attack Trump personally.
That's the thing. It could go one of two ways, which naturally it's either DeSantis would ignore Trump's attacks and show that he can withstand the side look, just the assaults, the verbal assaults from Trump, and saying I don't take him seriously. I want to focus on the issues here. If DeSantis took that approach, Trump's done.
See, and DeSantis is already taking that approach. Seriously, I would just run on you
don't have to say it. I'm just saying when he presents the presence of him but him representing that I'm ignoring these attacks because they don't matter. I want to focus on the issues. When he does that, which he's already doing by not responding to Trump, that's a damn good leader. He views Trump as kind of like, dude, you're just a squawking bird over here. Shut up. Like I want to focus on getting shit done. And DeSantis, have you noticed? He's still getting shit done. He's not engaging with Trump. Matter of fact, who he's engaging with is New York right now. We've got a story about Eric Adams going at it with DeSantis and his team and him fucking taking a hard L, which is great. But this Trump, bro, why don't you refocus your energy? Good grief. Like, shut the fuck up already. Whoever the orange man's handlers are, my God, would you shut him up? Like, take away his fucking Truth Social. It's ridiculous. Oh, my God. Well, here we are. Breaking story, folks. Putin suspends U.S. nuclear treaty. Tells Russians West wants to finish us forever. And Josh and I were just talking about this prior to the show. The Nord Stream pipeline bombing, I think, is going to come back to really haunt America.
Yep.
I think it's going to fuck us. I do think Biden is responsible. I think, I know we can't prove it.
Only because he said he did it.
Only because he said he did it. Yeah. But that's all Putin needs. That's all he needs for his propaganda machine. The Nord Stream got destroyed through sabotage, which is proven. Biden, earlier, I think last year, talked about how the Nord Stream, which I think is referring to the Nord Stream pipeline that was running through Ukraine into Europe.
Yeah, I have to double check.
I'm sorry,
I'm not even sure he said which Nord. I think he just said
he was referring to one of them. But that's the point is
it's got to be the second one.
Yeah, I think so. But that's all Putin has. That's all he needs. Like, look, your president said he'd destroy one of the Nord Streams. That's all we need. Yeah. So clearly it was you. That's why Biden's a fucking idiot.
He's
the sabotage.
Weak man.
Or here's the other thing. Maybe there's a third party saying, based upon what Biden said, and then somebody else went in there and fucking is trying to instigate a war. Bro, there are so many different possibilities there.
I don't think it's that cloak and dagger.
You don't think so?
No, I think Biden went up there to try to put it out that
we're playing 3D chess,
if
Josh.
they did go,
Josh,
like they had, I mean, because when they did all that Navy SEAL training and all that shit months prior, like they'd set the bombs up and all that shit ready to go. That's why he said,
I forgot about that. You're right.
He's like, if they do this, then we'll take it out.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get any more clear than that.
No,
even for Biden,
I don't disagree with you.
The bumbling idiot.
Russian leader Vladimir Putin announced in a nearly 2-hour speech on Tuesday the unilateral suspension of the long-standing New START agreement that limits American and Russian nuclear development, describing Western support for Ukraine amid an ongoing Russian invasion as an existential threat to Russia. Welcome back to the Cold War, folks. Forget Cuba. Now, Jesus.
Yeah.
And the thing, and folks, I'm being honest here. Under Trump, I wasn't worried about a war. I really wasn't. I knew Trump, he's a strong president in that capacity. He was not going to get us into a war, even when negotiating with North Korea. Even then, I didn't think he would. Biden? I think Biden's going to get us into a war.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
He doesn't give a fuck. And folks, I'm telling you right now, if this war does kick off, the voices you're listening to, we're not going to fight. We're too old.
Oh, yep.
It's going to be your kids. It's going to be your sons and daughters sent off to go fight.
Millennials.
Right? Gen Z, time to step up.
Millennial, Gen Zs.
Yeah, time to step up.
Are you millennial?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm on the cusp of Gen X millennial, like by 1 year. But still.
Gen X are here, baby.
Gen X are right there, baby. I'm like older millennial here. Putin also took the time to reiterate this claim that the administration of current Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was neo-Nazi in its ideology and to denounce perversion and spiritual catastrophe in the West, sending particular time condemning the Anglican Church for allegedly considering the idea of a gender-neutral God. He's not wrong. I mean, he's not wrong. Oh my God. Where in this world did I ever see myself agreeing with Vladimir Putin? But he's not wrong. Mm-hmm. Let's take that again. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was neo-Nazi in its ideology. There's been proof of Nazism throughout Ukraine. Now, the Ukrainian propagandists are denying this left and right, but my God, the evidence is overwhelming. And I'm not saying this lightly, like everybody's a Nazi, everybody's a racist. Jesus, you've got the Azov, you've got so much out there. You've got swastikas all over the fucking place. You got people tattooed swastikas. Now, again, people make the comparison of saying, well, it's just like the KKK in America. It's like, I don't see them wearing white hoods, walking through the roads and burning crosses.
Have you ever in your life seen somebody in a Klan's outfit?
Nope.
Never.
Nope. Only in pictures.
I think it was maybe in the 80s, early 80s, where they marched in Washington. Mm-hmm. And I think that was the last time that something like that was televised.
I'm not going to lie. I'd love to see them march through Washington now just to see the fucking responses.
See what happened,
just to see what happened.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God. That's the anarchist in me going like, I just love to see it. Not that I support them, but it'd be like, oh, there's going to be a bloodbath. Like, and justfully so. I get it. But still, everybody has their right to free speech. They do. They do.
Yeah.
Except trans people. Fuck them. No, I'm just kidding. They kill each other off anyway. Who cares? To denounce the perversion and spiritual catastrophe in the West, Putin's not wrong. Speaking of transgenderism, degeneracy, homosexuality, there it is right there. Putin's not wrong. And this is a smart role to take. This is a smart role to take for Putin. Not saying he's right or wrong, but this is a brilliant strategy to take, denouncing Western dogma, denouncing Western degeneracy. My God, even conservatives are talking about this. Matter of fact, I wanted to pull up this tweet from Michael Knowles. Now, Michael Knowles, I agree with a lot of what he says, but I think we're in a little disagreement over... let me find it real quick. A little disagreement over... I'm not so much as a theocrat, but I think Knowles and the rest of them are. But listen to what he says here, and he's not wrong. He says, 1973, feminism is fine, but homosexuality is crazy. 1993, homosexuality is fine, but gay marriage is crazy. 2013, gay marriage is fine, but transgenderism is crazy. 2023, transgenderism is fine, but non-binary is crazy. He's right. Yeah. So you'll excuse me if I am saying if somebody comes out as a transgender conservative, you're still crazy. Just because you're politically on our side does not mean that you should be given a voice. I'm sorry, no. You're mentally disturbed. You've got issues. But as long as they agree with us politically, bring them in. Yes, accept them. But we're still negating the fact that they're fucking crazy. But we can tolerate the crazy as long as they can agree with us. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Kind of like the whole fucking identity politics with Owens and Kirk, with Kanye and the rest of them. Playing identity, but we don't want identity unless it's on our side. Wink, wink, nudge. Then it's okay.
What happened to Kanye?
Who cares?
Where'd he go?
That guy's a fucking moron. Oh my God, that guy's just a complete douchebag, just a fucking idiot. And I warned people. How many times have I been right? I warned people, do not strap yourself to that Kanye rocket, because wherever it goes, it's taking you with it. And what did they do? I didn't know Kanye was this crazy. Really? Really? All the conversations you had with him and you didn't know. There was no red flags going off when Kanye goes into Trump's office saying, we need to get the president on a hydroelectric because he's the president, man. I'm sorry, but I don't think we should have stupidity in the White House. Just because you're a fucking famous rapper. I don't care. I just don't care. Low intelligence should have a place in our society, and it's not in the White House. But unfortunately, that's like the overwhelming majority of fucking Congress right now. Low IQ idiots. Looking at you, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Looking at you, AOC, and the squad.
Yeah, why do you think that McCarthy only released the January 6th footage to Tucker Carlson? Why not just release it?
Because he knew. Think about it. He knew if he released it, he's going to let them put their spin on it first. Give it to your guy, put the right spin on it, push it out to the public. When in reality, if it's the truth, it doesn't need a spin. The video footage speaks for itself. But that's one of those things of he who comes out first controls the narrative. Hence why James O'Keefe is getting ahead of this. And I'm not picking sides here, but I am trying to showcase it to some people how... Well, we'll get to that here in a second about the James O'Keefe Veritas drama as it unfolds. But the point still stands. They want to get ahead of everything. Yeah, and it's not saying they're wrong. It's not saying they're right. But it's saying, let's put the information. Move. It's a very smart move. Yeah. It's a very smart move. Why the fuck would you give that to CNN right up? They're like, oh, hell no, because CNN's going to take it and they're going to manipulate it.
I'm like, oh, well, see, it's a big nothing burger.
Oh, my God. Look at all this white supremacy. Forget those black people in the crowd.
Who's Epps? Ray Epps.
It's ridiculous.
Conspiracy theories.
Hey, it's Black History Month. Don't forget to pay your taxes. That's only kidding. It's a joke, man. I love when people make that argument. It's like, there's more white people on unemployment than black people. It's like, yeah, because there's more black people in this country. Or white people, excuse me.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just kidding. There's a lot of people on fucking unemployment. And there's, a lot of it's warranted. I'll give you that. But to stay on it, absolutely not.
I was thinking about that when I walked into Target last week.
Unemployment?
No.
Do you want to stop working here? Is that what you're saying?
It was the Black History Month where they feature all the black businesses.
Jesus, I'm like, so sick and tired of it.
Aren't most of these products made by
whites?
Brown hands?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true.
Asia, India.
I was going to say little Chinese hands.
Hands.
Sweatshops for Nike. Black History Month, but I have this made in... Sure it is. Sure. There's a video here for Putin. The Russian invasion of Ukraine, which began in 2014 but escalated through a special military operation announced, hold on. The Russian leader made his remarks during his State of the Nation address, which the Russian constitution requires him to deliver annually. Putin has not delivered the speech for nearly 2 years. However, since April of 2021, and had announced a delay in public appearances, including postponing his traditional end-of-year marathon press conference in December late last year. The Russian invasion of Ukraine, which began in 2014 but escalated through a special military operation, announced on February 24, 2022, a full-scale national attack on the country. Blah, 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 blah. He did not appear to include Russia's invasion and colonization of Crimea in 2014, which received no significant response from the administration of then-President Barack Obama in his analysis of the ongoing invasion of the country. I want to repeat this. It was they who unleashed the war, and we used force to stop it, Putin asserted. Putin used his speech to announce an end to the New START agreement, a treaty passed under Obama. He says, I am forced to announce today that Russia is suspending its participation in the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, he declared, accusing the United States and the Greater West of attempting to eliminate the existence of Russia as a whole. The West uses Ukraine as a ram against Russia, Putin said. Here's the thing. The expansion of NATO, he's right. He's right. NATO expanded to their doorstep. It's been proven. Now, I'm not saying Russia is right in their invasion of Ukraine, but put yourself in the Russian position. Put yourself in our position back during the Cold War. Suddenly, Russia's wanting to put missiles in Cuba, and America's like, no. Yeah. You're too close to our doorstep. We're doing the same thing with NATO expansion. And folks, if you're going to say, well, America's not NATO, who's contributing the most in NATO right now? It's America. That's why America needs to get out of NATO. But under this presidency, another president, we're fucked. Folks, it boils down to this. I hope your kids are ready to go fight and die for this. I hope they are. I hope the patriotism has blinded them so much, because if it hasn't, fuck. You shouldn't be enlisting. You shouldn't be like, if they say for a draft, fuck no. Nope. Burn that draft. I get why. It makes sense. We're the Vietnam generation. I get it. That's
why I think these guys who are like draft dodger.
I'm kind of like, you
were in favor for the Vietnam War.
Exactly.
Know what you know now. You think him dodging the draft back then, not to want to go over to a foreign country to have your limbs blown off, or see your friends murdered. You're thinking that's a bad thing, to not want to get involved in that, and you're going to call somebody a draft.
I'm in a fucking...
Fuck you, man. You go.
I'm in a tailspin, because I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, because I was raised by traditional patriotic parents.
Yeah.
Like, my dad was hardcore military, like, fuck those hippies, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but now that I'm older, and I'm like, wait, they were kind of right. Communism was a red herring. They got us into that war for what? Did we vote it in? No. Congress just said, let's go. And what do? Over 50-something thousand men and women murdered in Vietnam. Yep. For what? Communism still spread.
Women, children.
It didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
So now,
it's a shame.
Looking back, and it was one of the hardest pills to swallow as a veteran, as a combat veteran. How do we know? Well, we're veterans. We fuck a time or two because we've been fucked a time or two. We know. So I'm looking at this going like, wait a minute. Would you as a veteran, or would you as a service member, or just as a civilian right now, knowing what you know, and they reinstituted a draft, and your number got called up to go fight in Ukraine, would you go?
No.
I wouldn't. Hell no. You want me to go for what? Freedom? No, this isn't freedom. Ukrainian freedom? No, that's their problem. So you want me to go fight and die for Vietnam. You want me to go fight and die for Iraq and Afghanistan. You want to go fight and die for Ukraine. And you wonder why recruitment is low. You wonder why there's more rebels in your ranks. People are waking up. People are waking up. Mm-hmm. And I love it. I love the fact that people are starting to say, wait a minute, the military-industrial complex, weaponized by the government, needs to come to an end.
Oh, yeah.
It needs to come to an end. These are people's lives we're talking about here. Young American men and women will go to fight and die for this. It's crazy. It's crazy. And people are like, well, that's not patriotic. Oh, I think the opposite.
That's why they try to, that's how they get people like, well, you're not a patriot then.
Exactly.
You want to go to war?
Mm-hmm.
Stand up for these folks? Like,
usually, we've seen patriotism in America is usually rooted in rebellion.
Yeah.
So if you're rebelling against the government, I'm not saying it's always right, but generally speaking, I kind of see where they're coming from. And I kind of agree. I do agree. It is your moral obligation to stand against your government when it is in the wrong. And if that means violating laws, so be it. So that means don't burn your draft card. I'm burning it. Well, I mean, they won't draft me because, again, I'm too old and I've already served. But still, I would not blame one single red-blooded American saying, fuck you. That or this way. Be like, fine. You want to recruit the middle and lower class? When I start seeing politicians' sons and daughters on the front line, then you'll have some ground to stand on. But until then, nope. Nope. Send your sons and daughters. They won't.
Be the first
one. It'll be yours, folks. It will be yours. I hate saying it, but that song, Why Do They Always Send the Poor to War? It's fucking true. They're going to go into inner cities. They're going to recruit these kids that got nothing going on, saying, we got a way out for you. But you got to go fight for a little bit.
How do you feel about dying?
Are you okay with PTSD? How do you feel about limbs being blown? Or watching your buddies die in front of you? You okay with that? Maybe getting a little freaking drone to drop a grenade on you. You all right with that?
But we'll pay for part of your college.
And we'll pay for all of your college. And hey, Marines, just being a Marine is bonus enough. So when you come back with, PTSD, we're going to probably neglect you again. But hey, patriotism, right? I hope that blanket of patriotism warms up your fucking cold limbs that are no longer there because the government fucking lied to you. Damn.
Ouch.
Damn. We're spitting some hard truths here today, folks. A lot of you aren't going to like hearing this, but it's fucking true. I mean, it sucks. I hate to say it, but it's true. We've been lied to. We've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, I say. It's true. My God, man. It's 17 years old when the towers fell. And you look back at it now, it's just like, bro, we were lied to a lot. Where's the weapons? Where's the weapons of mass destruction?
He made a joke about it.
Yeah.
Bush made a joke.
Yep.
Looking under papers.
Yep.
His speech papers. Nope, it's not. No weapons of mass destruction there.
But to get back on this, though, This is serious.
It is serious.
Putin's saying, we're done. We're fucking done.
Because you got them, you got China. How many soldiers does China have? Like 200 million?
No.
It's something crazy like that.
No, good question. Look it up. It wasn't China. Didn't they have the Million Man Army? Or was that North Korea? I don't know. We're going to see what plays out.
I'm going to find 2 million. Wait, is that right?
The 2 million man army?
22, China had the largest armed forces in the world by active duty military, about 2 million active soldiers.
Oh, okay. So it is the Rock Army. Okay, I thought that. Thank you, Hobo. Yeah. So there you go. 2 million men. But do they have the technology, military technology? I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't see it as them coming in with their jets and bombing the.
Dude, I don't know. I
homeland.
Do not know.
I think it's what they're doing now with like these
economical
balloons and all this shit.
Us. Yeah,
that buying up all this farmland and kind of setting up shop. And they have a good majority of our politicians.
China is the one to watch. Yeah. I think China definitely owns Russia. I think Russia thinks they're standing independent. They're not. China, I think, is the biggest threat to the global world economically. Yeah. I really do think so. New START took effect February of 2011 under a proposal by President Joe Biden, eagerly embraced in Moscow, extended through 2026. The deal limits the number of nuclear weapons both sides can deploy and forced the U.S. and Russia to, at least on paper, maintain an equal number of strategic nuclear weapons. As described by the State Department, the treaty requires limits of... Now, the list I'm about to read you, think of these actually being utilized during a global war. A world war, if you will. 700 deployed intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, deployed submarine launch ballistic missiles, SLBMs, and deployed heavy bomber equipment for nuclear armaments. 1,550 nuclear warheads on deployed ICBMs and deployed SLBMs and deployed heavy bombers equipped for nuclear attachments. Each such heavy bomber is counted as one warhead towards this limit. 800 deployed and non-deployed ICBM launchers, SLBM launchers, and heavy bombers equipped for nuclear armaments. President Donald Trump was a stern critic of the new START agreement, reportedly raising the issue in his first call with Putin and President in 2017 and publicly demanding a new agreement that also includes China. Both China and Russia enthusiastically rejected including China in the proposal. It's a one-sided deal like all the other deals we make. It's one-sided deal. I gave them things we should have never allowed, Trump said in 2017. Just another bad deal that the country made, whether it's START, whether it's in the Iran deal, which is one of the bad deals ever made. Our country only made bad deals, blah, 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 blah. During the years that Trump failed to negotiate a new agreement, including China, Beijing capitalized on not being tethered to any limits by dramatically increasing its nuclear stockpile, particularly at the height of the coronavirus pandemic. China has refused to take sides in the Russian invasion of Ukraine, insisting publicly on dialogue to resolve the war, but vocally condemning sanctions on Russia for its invasion. Hey. Smells something burning.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Smells like popcorn burning. European countries and the United States began expressing concerns this week that China would soon begin providing weapons to Russia during a meeting with top Chinese Politburo member Wang Yi this weekend. European Union High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Police Joseph Borrell said he expressed strong concern about potential weapon sales. I'm telling you, China's pulling the strings. This is very worrisome, folks. This is very worrisome. Now, this could just be a show from Putin's side saying, hey, we're no longer going to participate in this. This is kind of a little flag put up on your radar. But Jesus, folks, man, I'm telling you. These are scary times. And the most ironic thing about this is that during Trump's administration, all the left screamed, he's going to get us into a war. We were never this close to a war under Trump. Granted, we were already still in the Middle East. But this right here, and what are liberals saying? Oh, Slava Ukraine, Slava Ukraine. I'm telling you, folks, make a list. Make a list. Every single one of those little retards that had the Ukraine flag in their bio, write their name down. And when the draft comes, say, this motherfucker right here. This motherfucker right here. Send them. You wanted to send this war, you go fight and die for it. Of course they won't. Of course they won't. Other news, Alec Baldwin's charges for manslaughter have been downgraded. Oh, you don't say. Oh, you don't say. Well, Alec Baldwin will face reduced charges in the accidental 21 shooting of Halen Hutchins, New Mexico, Lawyers for both Baldwin and Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, the young armorer on the set of Western, had argued that the two involuntary manslaughter charges brought against their clients last month were partly based on a new law that had gone into effect after the shooting. Originally, charges against both Baldwin and Gutierrez-Reed included the possibility of up to 5 years in jail as a result of a firearm enhancement penalty that went on New Mexico's legal books in 2022. The reduced, okay, that's, there's fair enough on that one. I get that one, but still. Reduced charges are punishable by up to 18 months in jail and a $5,000 fine. Involuntary manslaughter is a charge brought when unintentional negligence results in the death of an individual. In order to avoid further litigious distractions by Mr. Baldwin and his attorneys, the district attorney and special prosecutor have removed the firearm enhancement. Heather Bruschi, spokesperson. All right, so they're just not going to charge him with a new law they tried getting him with on the books. That's kind of fucked up.
Killed a guy.
He killed a guy, but they're getting a reduced charge, or they're going to downgrade the charge. But it's ridiculous. Something burning out there?
I think it was just somebody's lunch.
What, they like burnt popcorn?
I love burnt lunch.
Well, happy Black History Month, folks. Don Lemon will return Wednesday after, quote, formal training, unquote. You mean a TV anchor that's been doing this for many, many years has to get trained? I thought Don Lemon was the freedom fighter for women, black, and gay rights. I thought he just didn't like white men that were straight.
Nope.
So he's getting retrained. Wow, we'll talk about minority privilege, because if he was white, well then.
That sounds kind of like a re-education type of class.
Well then.
Where you had to be re-educated about...
Apparently misogynistic quotes, yet the funny thing is, Whoopi Goldberg says something very similar. CNN host Don Lemon will reportedly return to his morning show on Wednesday after receiving formal training in the aftermath of his sexist comments. CNN CEO Chris Light said in a statement late on Monday that Lemon agreed to participate in formal training before returning to the show. Other words saying, you must think like we do or you no longer have a job here. And which Don Lemon said, well, let me see your penis first so I can suck it. Because he's gay.
What did he say?
Basically said that Nikki Haley was no longer in her prime.
Oh, okay.
And women got offended by that.
That's
because
right.
It's actually true. She's not in her prime.
He should have
He should have just stuck to his guns, but he's not going to. These woke people have no spine. That's what he really thinks. Yeah, they have no spine. None. No, Nikki Haley is not in her prime. She's really not. Whether it be childbearing or even political. No, she's not. She's an idiot. She's a boomer neocon. It's important to me that CNN balances accountability. I don't give a fuck about the story. Just another proof of minority privilege. Well,
Don Lemon.
Twitter rips Mayor Adams for... you know what? Let's just get into the Veritas thing. Okay. I'm going to play a clip for you. Now, let me clarify before all the, I stand with James, I stand with Ver, and all the blue checks and the Turning Point influencers and the fucking grifters, I stand with James. 1 second. 1 second, folks. Can I just be the voice of reason for 1 second in this sea of endless, screaming, right-leaning voices? There is nothing right now but he said, she said crap going on. Okay? I don't care what's being said. It's just he said, she said. Well, James O'Keefe posted a video last night. It's about 45 minutes. I watched it. He said he has receipts. Folks, there is something wrong here. And I'm not blaming James, and I'm not blaming Veritas, but I want to know where that donor money is going. Now, I'm going to play you a clip. And this is James O'Keefe himself. And let me just say where my stance is. I'm not picking a side except the side of truth. And my truth that I'm more focused on is, where is that money going? Has Veritas done a lot of good? Yes. Did James O'Keefe build it? Yes. Has he done a lot of great things? Yes. I am not denying him that. But when it's a he said versus she said, and you're put in the middle, folks, it would behoove you to hear both sides. Well, James has a lot of credibility. Fair enough. But can James lie? Yes, all humans can lie. Is he lying now? I don't know. I generally do not know. But people that will argue with me on this, well, he should be believed. Oh, so then we should believe all women because women don't lie. We should believe all men. We should believe all conservatives because as long as they're on our side, they will not lie. Do you not see the inconsistencies in these thought patterns that some of these so-called right-leaning influencers claim to embrace? We need all the facts before we can think. I said the same thing about fucking Uvalde. We went off of the facts the AP provided us and did a breakdown scenario until more things got discovered and the facts then changed again. And what did people do? Oh, Bert got it wrong. No, you were guessing until the facts actually fully came full circle. And then come to find out, you douchebags out there, what about that Border Patrol guy that kicked in and went in by himself? Turns out he waited in the stack with everybody else. But I didn't see you apologizing and kissing my ass for that. No, I didn't. I just saw y'all, yeah, well, you're a bootlicker about Uvalde. I just want the fucking truth. That's all I care about. I've called out plenty of cops. But you fucking morons out there in the social media sphere, instantly wanting to jump on a side. Why? Because you're tribal. Why? You don't have to be this way. Do I actually give a fuck about James O'Keefe? No, not really. I'm not loyal to any of these people out there. None at all. I'm loyal to the truth. Do they do good work? Great. Do I think due process should be given its day in court? Absolutely, I do. Do I think both parties are lying? Yeah, I kind of do. I got some questions. Got a little bit of questions here. But I want to play you something that James O'Keefe said in his video that really threw up the flag for me because I'm like, wait a minute, something's wrong here, and I want to know. Now, I'm not blaming O'Keefe for this, but it does bring about some questions. Listen to this. And don't forget, James O'Keefe is also in theater. He's an actor. You can't deny that. Now, the accusations levied against O'Keefe. Number one, in his video, he talked about $12,000 for his wedding. He says he's not even married. Fair enough. The other accusation was $20,000 for attending a theatrical performance of Oklahoma in which he starred in. Fair enough. Then, well, just listen to the audio here.
Veritas paid for James O'Keefe's down payment of his wedding. I got a chuckle out of this. I'm not married. I've never been married. I do hope to get married one day. In fact, I got married to you in Oklahoma. But that was pretend. That was fun. Everyone enjoyed it. We rented a charter bus. We all went down. Everyone enjoyed that musical. Or at least I thought. I'm not married, but the...
Okay. Hold on. Listen to finish.
Truth of the expense, the $12,000, was that it was a payment for our annual Project Veritas Christmas party. Remember that?
Okay. There's just a lot of red flags here. You admitted that you rented the bus to go see the Oklahoma. Was that the $20,000? That's my question. And then the $12,000 wedding. Okay, so it clearly wasn't for that. Who categorized that? Mm-hmm. You know as well who categorized that $12,000. Now, I'm not blaming that on O'Keefe. This is where my point is, folks, and I'm asking you to stay with me here. Who's responsible? Was it the CFO? Was it the accountant? Was it O'Keefe himself? I don't know. Nobody knows. That's the issue that I have here. in this he said versus she said. There are some extreme legalities here going on. And folks, I've dealt with NPOs. I know the level of corruptibility of NPOs. And Veritas is raking in a lot of money. Now, I pitch this to you, the people, for you to decide. $12,000 of donor money for a Christmas party. I've got issues with that. Now, unless you fundraised specifically for said Christmas party, I'm sorry. That's a little misuse of donor money. I cannot agree with that. $12,000. That literally, he said, was for the Christmas party. I'm not blaming James on that, but I want to know who made that call. Why are you spending? Now, I know, here's the deal. Corporations spend a lot of money on the, I get that, but they're not nonprofits. Veritas is a nonprofit. Then he talks about renting the charter bus and going down to Oklahoma. He admits it. Fair enough. What was the cost on that? You see, the point that I'm trying to get to here, folks, is I feel like there's a lot of misspending going on in Veritas, and it's coming to light. But nobody's focusing on that. They're focusing on the O'Keefe versus Veritas, when that's not even the issue. The issue is who is spending this money? Who is making the calls? You've got a board of directors. But people are so tribalistic in their minds that they automatically, I stand with James. I stand with Veritas. Even people I once had respect for as being more reserved with their judgment until they got all the facts. I stand with James. Bro, hold on. We don't have all, like I say, take this to court. Go to court over this and let the facts come out. Because that's what just blows my mind. People are just so quick to jump onto somebody's bandwagon saying, oh, he's right. But we don't know. I mean, am I wrong on this?
Nobody knows except those people
inside
that organization.
Exactly.
So maybe people just didn't like the fact that they spent $20,000 to go to a play that maybe only James O'Keefe likes.
Well, he starred in it. He was in the play.
Yeah. So maybe they're like, why are we spending money on this? Why aren't we spending money this way?
That is a potential thing, because you and I have seen that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, coming from the business end of it, I'm like, if I had somebody that was heading up a department and they're blowing copious amounts of money on dumb shit, like a Christmas party, when your goal is for journalistic integrity and to expose people, something's wrong.
I thought that was stupid myself.
That's very stupid.
Like, I wouldn't even intermingle his personal passions with what he's trying to do.
You remember how he performed that little dance skit at CPAC or whatever, the America First Turning Point bullshit? Mm-hmm. He's up there with the FBI agents. Yeah. He is theatrical. And I'm not knocking him for that. I mean, cool, do your thing.
I am. It doesn't lend any legitimacy to his cause when you're out there dancing around to a choreographed routine.
It's interpretive dance, Josh. It's
okay. How about we just stick with the insiders that are inside these organizations?
Well, that falls more into personal opinion, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying from the legality portion of it, when I see the accusations of a $20,000 spend, and I could have this wrong, but these are the accusations. And the burden of proof is on whom exactly? Fair enough. That's why I say take it to court. And until it goes to court, I'm not going to pick anybody's side. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything illegal about how they spent their money.
Technically, no. But at the same token, I could see it as a board director being like, no, you should not be spending this money this way. Yeah. And honestly, I mean, if I was a donor and I found out that, say, for example, I donated to Josh's cause to heal wounded kids from landmines in Afghanistan, and then I find out you're taking $15,000 to go throw a fucking bonanza for you and your employees. No, there are kids that are needing that more than you do. You're not there for that. You're already paid a salary based upon what's coming in donor money. Now, James O'Keefe in that same video went on to talk about his costs of fundraising, saying that he had to fly and take trips to meet potential donors and stuff like that. And he said the IRS's stance where you can do Zoom meetings. Well, the IRS should have no say in any of that because fuck them. But secondly,
agreed.
I kind of also see it as, well, there is nothing that you can't do over a phone call or Zoom to save yourself a couple $1,000s. But again, I get his point, though. I understand it from both sides. But I am seeing something adding up here to where who is releasing this money? Who is saying this is a good idea? And people, they said the reason the board is creating such a stink is because of his fundraising tactics. And I saw even comments of people saying, well, he came out with his side first. That doesn't mean anything. You're getting in front of the narrative, fair enough, but that doesn't mean anything. But people just don't get it. So you'll excuse me if I don't instantly jump the gun and say, James is right, down with Veritas, or Veritas is right, down with James. But I do take issue with all of these blue check influencers on the right that instantly take a man at his word and say they're automatically guilty. Okay, what about Wounded Warrior? Uh-oh, we all remember that. You're telling me that's not possible? What about Active Heroes that I dealt with that like gypped me for $8,000? I remember that. Like, I've dealt with this so fucking much, and all I'm trying to do here is get people to open their fucking ears and eyes and think for yourself. I'm not saying who's guilty and who's innocent. I'm just saying these are the possibilities, and they should be explored. We owe it to the donors. It should be explored. That's a lot of fucking money.
Colby in the YouTube chat brought up a good point that the FBI try to take James O'Keefe down. What are the odds that...
Oh, yeah. Do I think there's corruption at every level? Yes, I do.
Well, yeah. What do you think the odds are of somebody inside of the Project Veritas
trying to get him? Yes. I think it's highly possible. I'm not, the other thing is they had 16 employees come out and say mistreatment, yada, yada, saying donors were going to employees, yada, yada, yada. That's what I'm saying, though. This is he said, she said.
Yeah.
There is no viable proof. Now, James O'Keefe has the receipt of a text message where one guy said, I'll give you a raise if we can get rid of O'Keefe. Okay, fair enough. That means the board didn't like him. It's kind of fucked up. I'll give you that. But at the same token, it's still he said versus she said. And at the crux of the matter, we don't even know what the fucking truth is. Mm-hmm. And people talk about like, don't you want to build relationships with donors so they donate each year? I can do that via a phone call. How do I know that? I've done that via phone calls. And they completely understand, hey, I would love to come out and meet you, but that costs money. And that money is better spent bringing justice. Am I off the mark here? I mean, call me crazy. I've been doing this for a very fucking long time.
I think that's a reasonable option there to do it via Zoom or whatever if you're trying to really
100% a phone
raise
call.
as much money as you can.
Yeah.
But where are his donations going to? It's going to funding, uncovering,
which is great. That's what they donate for.
Yeah.
Uncovering all that corruptibility. That's
what
they're there for.
Go out, buy their equipment that they need, all their spy cameras and all the shit that they have to do. I mean, I don't know.
Now, the IRS did get it wrong. They talked about how he should be conducting these interviews with these, but what they do in their stings via Zoom. And it's like, no.
Right.
Like that part I agree. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Now, again, this is all personal preference. Has he done anything illegal? Not that I know of, but I do feel when it comes to donor money for a good cause, there should be some investigating. There should be. And whomever is responsible should be brought to justice. That's why I do not fuck with nonprofits anymore.
As long as you're conservative.
As long as you're conservative. Then I'll believe you and, forget due process. As long as you're on my side, I believe you hands down. Damn. Like, what's the difference between James O'Keefe come out and saying this versus James O'Keefe come out and saying Veritas raped me? I believe James. Well, don't we deserve due process? What's the difference? Financial irresponsibility? And I'm not trying to pick on James here. I know he does a lot of I'm not fucking knocking that. The point is, someone's at fault. And as long as we have this he said, she said back and forth, that person's going to go under the radar and get away. And if that person turns out to be a board member, they should be crucified. If it turns out to be James, he should be crucified. That's all I'm saying. I don't feel like this is that difficult of a concept to grasp. I really don't. Due process should be given its day based upon the facts that we have, which are very limited. Very limited. It's literally he said versus she said. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what happens.
If you had to take a guess,
I know it's going to happen.
If you had to take a guess as to what happens behind the scene there.
I think there's blood on all their hands.
No, I mean, like, do you think it's James O'Keefe's ego is
Yes.
I don't even want to call it an ego because he started the whole thing. So he
did.
feels like this is Project Veritas is James O'Keefe.
True.
I started
It
this.
is.
I'm the one who did all
Just
this
like
stuff.
Apple with Steve Jobs, yes.
Right. So do you think maybe...
But does that mean that you are beyond corruptibility and can misspend money?
No, but in his mind, that's how he is thinking. Like,
and he's justified.
Started,
he is justified in thinking that 100%. It's his baby. And it sucks. I'm not denying that. That's another reason why I would never go public. It's another reason why I would never have a board. It's like, nope, because that's what happens. We've seen it time and time again. And if you think it won't happen to you,
it'll happen to you.
It'll happen to you. That's why when Black Rifle went public, I was like, okay, good luck. You're going to make way more money, but good luck. I don't know. That's just me. And I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because when I make this announcement, and folks, and this is what I get accused, you're just doing this for the followers. Bro, I lose followers when I'm sitting there going like,
hey guys, I know the entire GOP is going this direction, but I really think we should push pause real quick and just think,
shut the fuck up, Burke, you're doing it for followers. Like, if I was doing this for followers, I'd be up there sucking O'Keefe's dick. My gosh. But what are the other grifters doing?
You'd be doing that anyway.
Believe O'Keefe, believe Veritas, I don't believe either of you. I just want to see the facts. And I'm sorry, but a text message is not a receipt. It's just a statement. Fair enough. It shows maybe some intention. Maybe it's irony. I don't know. Maybe it's sarcasm. Everything comes with context.
It's something.
But I watched O'Keefe's 45 minutes and he came with receipts. He actually didn't.
One receipt?
He came with a few different things, which led to more questions saying, wait a minute. You spent $12,000 on a Christmas party? What the fuck? Hey,
how many employees do they have, though?
Huh?
How many employees do they have?
Not that many. No, I think it's like somewhere like 60. I could be wrong on that. Because I read all the accusations. It's not a massive company. But what's to say, hey guys, we're doing the thing here in this office. Everybody brings some potluck. We can have some fun. But if you watch the video, O'Keefe goes into a very theatrical explanation. I remember you were wearing that getup. We had a good time. And then at the end, I'm getting very emotional. It's like, okay, dispense with the theatrics because you did not show those same theatrics when you're interviewing these people out there on the street and crushing their lives. I know O'Keefe's an actor. These are the things that I'm considering here, folks. Uh-oh. And then I get accused of straw mans in my comments and shit like that. And yet nobody can fucking counter. Nobody can counter it. It's like, well, James O'Keefe showed the receipts. What receipts? What proof?
Well, hopefully Project Veritas continues to...
They've already lost like 30,000 followers.
Do their work.
Here's what James just needs to do. Fuck Veritas. Go do your own thing again. You've already got the support. You've already made it work once. Do it again. This time, don't have a board. Just be the CEO.
Yeah.
That's just my thing. But he's going to land on his feet. He is perfectly fine. The donors are going to pull their money. They're going to follow him regardless, unless this goes to court. And then suddenly O'Keefe gets pinned for something. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Now, again, people were talking about Pfizer. He's already busted Pfizer. He's busted a lot of motherfuckers. Do I think maybe this could be a slow play from possibly?
Could be.
There is 100% ability or a possibility of that being true.
Yeah,
of them infiltrating the ranks. But when people were talking about in those complaints, O'Keefe was making people take lie detector tests and stuff. And just like, wait a minute.
Maybe he's paranoid that
he could be. But
his business has been infiltrated by...
Potentially.
Yeah.
But can you imagine ever telling an employee you have to take a lie detector test?
If I was in that type of business, I might be that paranoid to where I would want people to take a lie detector test. Because if I'm going out and putting myself at risk going into... Well, how would it not be legal?
That in order to maintain employment here, and it's not a law... Well, I guess maybe it could. It's not a law enforcement agency.
No, it's not.
But I'm just kind of like, your requirement... I can't... That's just...
The high level of infiltration that they do
potentially, yes.
To Pfizer, to CNN...
But you can do background
to FBI. I mean, they go into some very, very high-profile places. So
I get that.
I could see how he would be very paranoid about his...
Overly paranoid, potentially?
I think you would have to be.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think you would have to be.
But at the same token, though,
because
I don't think we should dismiss these charges of like being a shitty boss. But even that in itself is not a reason to fucking oust the CEO.
If you're talking
sometimes
about,
people are just assholes.
If you're talking about like $32,000 out of how much money? How many millions of dollars?
Oh, I think they pull in millions. I mean, we can pull. I'm meant to look for their 990. Let me see if I can find the.
Does anybody know in the chat like how much money Project Veritas brings in annually? I would say it's got to be tens of millions of dollars. So if you're saying $32,000 out of $10 million, that's not that much money.
Let me pull it up. Project Veritas 990.
Let's see.
Holy shit! Total revenue is $22 million.
Yeah.
Total functioning expenses $14 million. Net income $7 million. Contributions, notable source of revenue, 20 million, percentage of total revenue, investment income, 3 million or 3,000. This is from 2020. 2019, 12 million. 2018, 8 million. He's only growing. Oh my God. 2017, 8 million. 2016, 4 million. 2015, 3 million. So as we go back, they were making really good money in nonprofit donations.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I'm reading the right. Yeah, Project Veritas. Yep. Tax exempt since March 2011. EIN's right there. So $22 million.
If it would be
That's
different,
big fucking money.
If they were only bringing in $100,000 a year, then you spend $32,000. Then that seems like wasteful spending. But $22 million, that's your high number. It's not that much money.
It is to the common donor.
To which don't I'm just saying in the grand scheme of things, if you say this party's going to cost,
but then
we've got over 100 employees.
Let's embrace that ideology. Then when does it become too much?
I think you put a percent on it. So what's the percent of 22 million? What's that percent? Like $32,000. It's very
I have no idea. Not a mathologist. But the point that I'm making, though, is if you do not put that hard backstop immediately, regardless of the amount, $12,000 might not be a lot of money. And you and I both know, as you grow, as a business scales, what was once a lot of money no longer is a lot of money because you're in a bigger ballpark zone. But as a CEO, as a board, and you're dropping this amount of money, that's donor money. That is money giving to this organization by some people, a lot of people, quite honestly, probably, who don't have that much money to give, but they believe in the cause. And that's why donor money must be treated with the utmost respect, and it should not be mismanaged, and it should not be spent on dumb shit. And I'm not saying that it was. I'm just simply saying if the possibility exists that it was, there should be some investigating. They owe it to the donors. Forget O'Keefe, forget Veritas. They owe it to the donors that gave that money. Now, $22 million? Do you need that much money to operate? No, you do not. But that's not my call. That's the donors. That's up to you.
I don't know. Who knows what it takes to do the things that they do to pay the people that they need to pay. Or
$22 million, Josh. $22 million.
I mean, it gives if you really want to, if your vision is to expose the truth on these levels, look at the government.
They've got almost $12 million in assets.
You're going up against the government who takes in trillions and trillions of dollars every single year. So you're going up against the United States government, the FBI, Pfizer, CNN.
Then put a number on that. What is the total operating cost to take them on?
Obviously,
is it $22 million?
They've done the work to.
I'm not saying they haven't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they haven't.
I don't like to get into people's finances not knowing how much it costs, like what their costs are on this stuff. Like, what does it cost to get out there and get these people? I mean, because one of the things I listened to was that. What did he say about having, a lot more people undercover inside these places? So, they got to take care of these. I mean, if they have to set up alternate identities for them.
I'm looking at the 2019 990.
Giving them an apartment, change their ID, make them fit the part that they're going in for.
Contributions and grants, $8 million prior year, current year, $12 million. I'm just saying and again, the thing about a 990, it's very surface level. You can categorize a lot of things that if you do an investigating, it's like, say, for example, your grants and contributions, I need to see an itemized breakdown of that list. Show me where the money's going. Investment income, blah, 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 grants and similar amount paid, blah, 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 all this. But yeah, for 2019, it's saying current year, 12 million. Yeah. Good Lord. I would love to have $12 million. I'm not going to lie. I'd throw the most bomb-ass Christmas.
Spend $12,000.
$12,000 on strippers and blow, baby.
Hey, what if you would have done the same thing for $12,000?
If I'm throwing away fucking $12,000, it ain't gonna be on a Christmas party, bro. I'm gonna show up in a brand new fucking truck. No, I'm kidding. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, hopefully the work that they do still continues.
That's the thing that really sucks about this the most. What happens to the work?
Yeah.
And you know what sucks about this is they've done a lot on blowing the whistle and a lot of bullshit, but what happens? Nothing. And that's no fault of theirs. But where's the accountability?
You see a lot of people get fired, have to retire.
Yeah. That kind of stuff. I'm not saying that it should stop, but it does suck because it is going to pause now. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what do the remaining employees at Veritas do? Are they going to follow O'Keefe? He's got to go do his own thing. I hope he does do his own thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
But when it comes to freaking donor money and finances, I'm sorry. I'm not picking a political side. I want the truth. I've seen so many NPOs do that. So many NPOs. And when you basically give somebody unlimited cash flow to do with as they want, the corruptibility increases. I'm not accusing them of that, but it is a possibility. I feel like my stance is a very fair and balanced one. Show me the proof, and I will believe you. I will not believe you blindly because that's a lot of fucking money. $22 million.
$22 million.
$22 million. That's where we're at, folks. I watched his entire video, by the way. I watched it all. While I was finagling that $500,000 that we were... Oh, my God. All right, folks. I'm going to have to end it there because Josh and I have some more business to do with this brick and mortar. We're going to be opening up here soon. Lord willing, we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's just see what happens. But we appreciate your tuning in today. There's still more that I wanted to get to, but we've got a lot we got to get into because Josh has got to take off early. We got to get some paperwork done. So anyway, appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in today. If you could, go share the podcast. Go hit like on the Rumble channel. Tell your friends and folks about us. But most of all, don't forget to use code SAVAGE to save 10% off of shellshockcbd.com. You like the new lube? We've got it. We got the Delta 8. We got the Delta 9. It'll get you high as fuck. We got the CBD oil, broad spectrum isolate, full spectrum. You can check it out. You need help with sleep. We've got THC-free CBD melatonin gummies. You will not pop hot. And by the way, did I mention all of our gummies come with a money-back guarantee? If they do not work for you as we advertise, let us know and we will refund your money. We are that confident. We are that confident, folks. We love you. We appreciate you. You got anything to add, my man?
We've got a new flavor, Delta 8 flavor coming out.
Oh, yeah?
Cherry.
It's
I think it's my new favorite.
It's bomb as fuck, yeah. We've already tested it. It
really
works.
good,
it's potent as hell. It's delicious. That should be dropping here soon.
Yeah.
Waiting on the labels to get finished, but we got cherry flavor Delta 8 coming to you.
Labels.
And it's delicious.
You guys are going to love it.
You got to love it. You got to like the way you get high. We guarantee it. Until tomorrow, folks, you have yourself a wonderful day. And as always, you stay savage, America.